Welcome to my channel, and I'm back with you once again with another video of Explain 12. In this video today I'm going to show you how to perform a missed approach using the FlightFactor Airbus A320 Ultimate. It's a very nice plane. It was available on Explain 11 and now it's available on Explain 12. There is a video on my channel which shows you how to purchase this plane and install it for Explain 12. So currently I'm doing a flight from Frankfurt to Düsseldorf, that's EDDF to EDDL, and in this video I will show you how to perform a missed approach. A missed approach can be performed in many cases where the visual range is not really good. You cannot see the runway during the landing, so you perform a missed approach. In case there is any issue with the landing gears or the bad weather or anything else, can be traffic as well. So performing a missed approach with the Airbus A320 is really easy. It's very nice and very simple. So let's get into the cockpit and see what's going on. So currently the plane is climbing to 28,000 feet and passing 24,800 feet. And right now you can see the top of a climb is near, and then the top of descent will be very close. So it's a very short flight between Frankfurt and Düsseldorf. Everything is good so far, and the flight plan is loaded in the MCDU, which is the multifunction control and display unit of the plane. Before I proceed further, I would just like to give you an introduction to the throttle of the Airbus A320. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're at a beginner's level, but still I'm assuming that you're slightly familiar with some of the controls of the Airbus A320. Right now there is an issue with this plane. Once you start the flight, you cannot move left or right in the cockpit. If I press the left, right, up and arrow keys, it doesn't work. So this is an issue. Hopefully it will be fixed in the next updates. But just to show you over here whatever I can using the things that I have, you can see the throttle has got 4 settings. This is the idle, this is climb, this is flex, MCT, and this is toga. Toga is takeoff and go around. So this is the maximum throttle. During the missed approach, you will be moving the throttle to toga, which is takeoff and go around, in order to perform a missed approach. And you have to move the throttle all the way forward. Moreover, if you look at the flight plan, interestingly, the missed approach procedure is already given in the flight plan after the runway. If you can see, after EDDL 23 left, there is this point DUS, and the heading is 232 degrees, which is like straight forward out of the runway. And plus there's another point at 309 degrees, MHP 009, and then there is BOT. BOT is actually an NDB, which is the non-directional beacon. So this is the last point, and then you can perform a hold over here, and from BOT you can then continue your flight towards an alternate airport, or you try to land back at EDDL. So I'm going to show you how to do this thing. Let's first of all refer to the airport charts. I'm currently using the Navigraph subscription, but if you don't want to use the Navigraph subscription, you can find these Jeppesen charts, which is only for the simulation purpose, not to be used for the real life. As you can see, is the Navigraph charts intended for flight simulation only, for navigational use. So not to be used for the real life. If you can find them over the Google, it's good. Otherwise, I would suggest you to have a subscription of the Navigraph charts, because this is a very good way to learn how to fly in different approaches. This is an approach plate for the runway 25. No, sorry, it's not 25. Let's actually just ignore this. This is 23 left for Düsseldorf. This is the approach plate, and as you can see, the heading of the runway is 232 degrees. At the moment you will miss this approach, you can see the missed approach procedure given over here. Climb straight ahead to D2.6, DUS D2.8 IDNE, and you can see this point over here. So you have to climb straight to this point, then after this point turn right the track of 309 degrees. So you turn 309 degrees from here, and at this point R279 DUS or R009 MHP, you turn further right at heading 60 degrees, and you will reach this point BOT that you can see over here, It's basically an NDB climbing to 4,000 feet. So this is a procedure that you will perform, and once you are at BOT, then you can try to land again, or you can change the airport. So it's very easy. This procedure is given over here. Once I will miss the approach, you will see how the flight plan over here, and plus the navigation display will show you the missed approach. As you can see, this cyan line over here, as you can see it over here on your screens. So this is visible, you can see. So after missing this approach, we have to actually get back to BOT, and how we turn, it's given over there in the approach plate. So that's it. It's very easy, it's not that difficult. So soon I will be starting my descent, and let's start the descent. I will just show you some things about the descent, because these are some settings which are required in order to land at an airport, because we have to enter this information, because once I will miss the approach, I will try to land back again. Now getting back to the airport charts, you can see that the glide slope is given over here in this section, and you can see at 3,000 feet at this point Metma, you will be intersecting the glide slope. So your descent altitude should be 3,000 feet, or target altitude for the descent should be 3,000 feet. This is what you're going to enter over here. So let's select 3,000 feet over here. That's it. So the moment plane is near to this line, the top of descent, this arrow which is showing the top of descent, I will start the descent, and the descent will be in the manage mode, not in the open mode. Right now the plane is flying in the manage mode. As you can see, there are 3 dashes, and then there is a circle for the speed, for the heading, and for the altitude. There is no circle coming, but once I will engage the manage mode, you will see a circle coming over here. So if I move my cursor over here, and I see the up arrow, I press the left mouse button, and you will see a circle will appear over here, which means it's in the manage mode. Manage mode means that during the descent, whatever the constraints are there at different waypoints, the plane will actually follow those constraints and will not try to bypass those constraints. As you can see in the magenta color, these all constraints are given. As you can also see at BOT, 4,000 feet is coming, and if I okay, as soon as we are near these points, you will actually see them clearly. This arrow with the zigzag thing over here, which this shows you that the plane is going to follow the descent profile by this point, because right now if you can see, we are slightly below the descent profile as we started our descent early. But the autopilot will actually manage the vertical speed in such a way that the plane will follow the descent profile at this point, and then the plane will follow the descent profile and will land accordingly. And you can see this dot, it will come over here in the middle when the plane is following the descent profile for the descent. Moreover, there is some information which you have to enter over here. If you click performance, one thing I would just like to tell you over here, you will see this error coming as check gross weight. I think there is an issue with the FlightFactor Airbus A320, because this error comes when the given what you can say, the zero fuel weight and the zero fuel weight center of gravity is not accurate. Then you see this issue gross weight, because zero fuel weight then plus fuel plus passengers and cargo, everything makes up to the gross weight. So that's the issue that I'm facing right now. If I go to the initialization, I've entered all the information correctly over here. If you can go to the performance data, you can see the zero fuel weight is 57.6 tons or 57.7 tons. You can see 57.7 tons is given over here, and 24.7 is the center of gravity for the zero fuel weight. You can see it's entered over here, and plus the fuel is already entered. But I don't know, during the flight this error keeps on coming up. Maybe in the next few update this issue will go away. I just wanted to tell you because it shouldn't bother you during the flight. Okay, so once you go to the performance, you go to the next phase, and over here you will see the information for the approach that you have to enter. So let's enter this information, and then we can proceed further. So the QNH in Düsseldorf is 1010, temperature is 16, wind is 190 slash, let's clear this again, slash 10. So you can get this information from the internet. Simply write the airport name, let's say for this it's EDDL, and then space, and then write meter, and then you'll get the weather report with the QNH, temperature, and the wind speed. For the DH and MDA, let's refer to the airport charts. Over here you will see that for ILS, the barometric pressure should be 338, which is 200 feet above the runway elevation. If you can see over here, this runway elevation is coming as 138 feet. So just 200 feet above the ground, you will hear this call out minimums, which means that at this point, if you can see the runway, you proceed with the landing. But even at 200 feet above the ground, you cannot see the runway. You have to perform a missed approach. Today it's a clear weather, so that's why you will be able to see the runway at a slightly a larger distance. But in bad weather, when there is fog, it's raining, you cannot see the runway, then you have to perform a missed approach or a go around procedure. And right now you can see the barometric pressure can be 338 or 200 for the radio. This is actually not using the barometric pressure, but using the radio. Using the radio is more useful when you're going for a Cat 2 and Cat 3 landing. But if you're performing a normal ILS, a Cat 1, 338 is a good altitude to enter. So let's enter 338 over here, and that's it. And if you go to the next phase, you will see the go around procedures. The thrust reduction altitude is 1650. So the moment you will perform a missed approach by moving your throttle to the maximum over here, that's toga, take off and go around. At 1650 feet, you will see thrust climb over here in the FMA, which is the flight mode annunciator. This part is known as the FMA of the primary flight display. So you will see this information over here. And the moment you see this, you have to move your throttle from toga to the climb the way it is right now over here. This is the procedure for the engine out, as I'm not doing engine out, so that's why I will not touch this topic. And this is the speed at which you should be retracting your flaps, because the moment we are going to perform a missed approach, the flaps will be in full position. The moment you move your throttle to toga, you have to move your flaps from full to 3. Once your flaps are full to 3, you can retract the flaps at different speeds, and the clean speed is 209 nautical knots. So the 209 means clean, without any flaps, without any slats. The position of the flaps is 0 over here, the way it is, and you will be able to then fly. And during the missed approach, the plane will actually fly at 180 knots. I tried this approach before. The speed was limited to 180 knots, but if you want, you can increase it. So right now, just to tell you, you can perform a missed approach using the selected mode or the managed mode. Right now the speed is in the managed mode. If I want to do the selected mode, I can click, I can change the speed, and then I can click this button once the arrow is down. As you can see, the down arrow is coming. If I click it, then the speed will be limited to 240. So whatever the speed I will give over here, you can see the speed will increase or decrease accordingly. And the vertical speed is actually adjusting, because the priority is speed right now. So thrust is set to idle, and the speed will reduce to this point. But if I increase the speed, you will see the vertical speed will further increase, and the speed will go to this point, because priority is given to the speed once I'm in the selected mode. So it's always advisable to go in a managed mode, because in the managed mode the plane is actually following all the constraints as per the flight plan given over here. If you go to the flight plan, you will see all the constraints. The speed is coming and the flight levels are coming at different waypoints. And as you can see, FI23L, this is the final 23 left, which is the final descent point. FDP the altitude should be 1850 and at METMA 3000. So this is the point where I will be intercepting the glide slope, and that's it. So these are the settings which are actually required for the landing, and now I will actually skip to the part where the plane is near to the runway, and then from there I will show you how to perform a missed approach and then land back at the airport. As now I am near the runway, so I will activate the LS, and you will see the diamonds over here once we are near the runway. For the ILS, it's important to do this right now. The plane is at 7,300 feet altitude, and as you can see that we are near the runway. In order to see your distance from the runway, let's even enter the progress over here. So it will be EDDL, and the runway is 34 left. Sorry, it's EDDL 23 left. And let's enter it over here. You can see it's 26 nautical miles away, the runway. And if you go to the flight plan, you can also see it's 26 nautical miles because it's in a straight line. And this is the deacceleration point. This is the point where I will be activating the approach phase in order to reduce the speed, because the speed right now is at 220 knots. Now you can see that standard is blinking, so we have to change the barometric pressure over here from standard to the given one. So it is actually 1010 QNH. So 1010. Let's also set it over here for the co-pilot. That's it. So now this information is there. As you can see, the diamonds for the localizer are here. This actually tells you whether you're following the glide slope or not, and this is for the alignment with the runway. Are you aligned like just in the middle or the center of the runway? So this is a good indication for the ILS. And let's now reduce the speed, activate the approach phase. Let's go to performance and activate the approach phase. With this, I will extend the flaps to position 1. I can further extend the flaps to position 2, and the speed should reduce. Yes, you can see the speed is reducing, and that's good. By this point, the plane will be at 3,000 feet, because at METMA the plane should be plus 3,000, so it should be 3,000 and above. So we will be at 3,000 feet at this point METMA, and this is the final descent point where I will be lowering the gears and extending the flaps to full. But obviously we're going to perform a missed approach, so I will be not really bothered with the speed and all the settings. Let's arm the ground spoilers because they are required to stop the plane once the plane lands. I will be using reverse thrust. Now as you can see that the diamond is in the middle, so I can activate approach, and soon the plane will start to descend towards the runway. It has now started, and you can see glide slope and localizer as locked, so the plane will now be following the glide slope. So let's go to the charts and revise this information once again. I have to climb to 4,000 feet. So over here I will set the altitude to 4,000. It will not make a difference right now because right now the plane is in the approach phase. I've pressed this button, so no matter what the altitude is over here, the plane will actually keep on descending unless I press this button or pull this button out. So I'm not pressing anything, I've just set the altitude. And over here for the heading I will set 223. And why I'm setting this heading? Because you can 232, sorry, it's not 223, it's 232. That's why it's runway 23, otherwise it would have been runway 22. So 232 over here. Because the moment I will miss the approach, then I will fly straight in this direction, 232 degrees. Speed I will not change. Speed I will keep it in the manage mode, because then the autopilot will manage the speed accordingly. So I can further extend the flaps to full, and I can lower the gears. You can see the brake temperature over here as well, and plus the signs are on, cabin is ready, spoilers are on, and flaps are full. You can see full flaps. Today the weather is clear, so that you can see the runway. Otherwise, in bad weather, the runway is not visible. I've experienced it twice while landing at Islamabad International Airport, and due to the fog, and one time due to the heavy rain, so the plane just took off, missed the approach. One time it went to Lahore, another time it just like circled around in the holding pattern, and then it landed back, I think, after 45 minutes when the weather was clear. So right now I'm just near the runway. Soon I will be, as soon as I will hear the word minimums, I will try to pull up, move the throttle to full to toga, take off and go around, and then I will perform the go around procedure. And it is also coming over here on the navigation display. So this is the point, DUS 03, D2.6 or D2.8 IDNE. So this is the point. And you can see dust. This is the VOR for the EDDL 23 left.
300 above.
100. You can see 280, 270. Soon you will have minimums. 240. Yes, minimums. And let's move the throttle to maximum, and let's pull up. With this, flaps to position 3. So autopilot is now off. So right now I am climbing to the given altitude, passing 1,400 feet. Let's reduce the thrust to toga. I can activate the autopilot. Now the plane will actually follow this heading, 232 degrees, will try to reach 4,000 feet, or will climb to 4,000 feet. With this I can further retract the flaps, and it's not lightning. I think there is some issue. Oh, it's raining. Wow, it's raining right now. So if you look at the charts, you can see this information coming over here. And if I look at the NDB over here, sorry, the navigation display, not the NDB. The NDB is a non-directional beacon, which is the bot. So you can see now the plane is leveling off at 4,000 feet. I can retract the flaps, set them to 0. The speed will be set at 180 knots, which is the green dot speed. And now as this point is reaching, I have to turn heading 309. So let's move this and let's turn around right 309 degrees, and you can see the plane is now turning right in the direction of 309 degrees, as you can see over here on the chart. So that's the best part about having the Navigraph charts, that you can see all this information over here. Can I activate the manage mode? No, I cannot. And that's it. Now we have to intercept this line and turn right. The plane is already at 4,000 feet. The speed is at 180, which is the green dot speed, the clean speed, without any flaps and without any slats. Oh! The one crucial thing I forgot, the gears. So this thing happens. This is what I tell you guys in my videos, that every time when I'm doing the flight myself, I'm okay, but whenever I'm recording, this thing happens. Okay, kindly excuse me for this. It shouldn't be happening. Such an embarrassment. Okay, I had to actually not only retract the gears but also the flaps. But while making a video, your mind is actually busy with many things, and plus this lightning thing, I don't know why this is happening in X-Plane 12. Okay, now you see this point MHV 009. As you can see, this point over here 009 MHV. So from here you have to turn right 60 degrees. So let's because we have to right now follow this path in order to intercept this straight line or the radial line for the NDB BOT. Yes, it's BOT if I'm not wrong. Yes, BOT. So let's change the heading to 60. And now you can see the plane is turning right towards BOT. And at this point, I can again fly towards METMA and try to perform a landing. So let's see if I'm able to do this. Right now, if I want to engage the manage mode, will I be? Oops. Let's I think we have to actually intercept this line, so let's do it again instead of because I think the bank angle of the plane is high, so that's why it's taking sharp turns. Otherwise it should be following this line. We should be over here on this line, as you can see over here in the navigation display. So now I've engaged the manage mode. If I'm not wrong, as soon as the plane intercepts this line, then it will actually turn right and start to follow this line. Let's see if it works. But we should have been on this line. With multiple times, with the practice, you will be able to do this. Or you can either fly manually without activating the autopilot. Heading, as you can see over here in the FMA, it's nav, because we are giving the heading. And now you can see intercept is coming. As soon as the line is intercepted, you will see this intercept thing coming, and then the plane will turn right towards BOT. Now if you go to the flight plan, you will see the flight plan is still there. Domex DL40. After BOT, there is a discontinuity because you can see this line is broken. As you can see, there is no line. So at BOT, you can either perform a hold. You can press this option. You can perform a hold. I have a video on my channel in which I have shown you how to perform hold with the Airbus A320. You want to perform a hold, you can perform a hold. Oh, it is again missing BOT, so let's no, it's following it. Yeah, now you can see it's in the manage mode. Okay, so Domex, if I clear this discontinuity right now, the plane will actually fly towards Domex, and then it will follow again the same approach. But right now, as I showed you before in the video, that I have a check gross weight error. That's why I cannot clear this discontinuity. Otherwise, I could have cleared it, and then we could have followed all this flight path, and then we could have landed over here. But the best part is this, that if you go to direct, you will see all the waypoints. So you can fly directly towards a waypoint. METMA is the point to which I will be flying. At METMA, the altitude should be 3000 feet, so I will set the altitude to 3000 feet, and this is the point. So at BOT, I can select METMA, and the plane will turn back, and I will try to land. Or at this point, you can modify the flight plan, and then you can try to land at an alternate airport. But right now, as I told you before, I will be landing back at the same airport, the same runway, 23 left. So that's why I will perform that landing. You can see in the performance page that again the activate approach phase is coming, so you can always activate the approach phase right now. The ground spoilers are already active, and the seatbelt sign on all the signs are on, the lights are on. So we will see now after reaching bot, if I select METMA, what will happen. Domex is coming, so the plane will either go to Domex and then it will follow again the same path and will try to land. This straight line actually you're seeing over here is this discontinuity. This one. This is, there is some manual path that's been inserted in a waypoint, and afterwards there's a flight discontinuity. But as I told you before, I cannot delete it. Hopefully in the next few updates this issue is resolved. I've searched over the internet. They said, it's because of the weight difference. I've tried a lot, but this error is not going. So hopefully in the future we might get rid of this error. So let's keep the screen on METMA, because as soon as I'm at bot, I will fly towards METMA. And then I will descend to 3000 feet again in order to intercept the glide slope, and then we'll try to land. But I will not show you in this video. I will end it because obviously I know how you guys can perform the ILS approach and landing, so I will not be touching that part. So I will be just showing you how to get back to the runway if you missed the approach. So it's good to have the airport charts with you so that you can fly the approaches. Right now, in order to save time, I will just go to METMA. If I click this, you will see this line is appearing over here as it's a modified flight plan. If I click insert, the plane should turn right. Let's see the flight plan. Okay, so as it's now not turning, I can use the heading to go the same way, fly on the heading in order to intercept the line. I can keep it in the manage mode, because the moment plane will actually intercept this line, it will again follow this line. So this is how you follow the flight plan after missing a point or missing your flight plan. If you fly towards that point in based on the heading, now the manage mode cannot be activated, so I will try to intercept it. So I'm trying to actually intercept this line. So you can see METMA and FI23 left. So it means that after this point there is the final descent point for 23 left, and then the plane will land at EDDL 23 left. So let's further increase it. With this I can also descend to 3000 feet. So all this I'm doing in the selected mode, not in the manage mode, as you can see. Now the plane is going to intercept this line, so let's see what happens if it intercepts this line. Will it start following the flight path or not? Now it's in the manage mode, and you can see now it's following this path. So that's how you get back to the course if you miss any point. And then from here you can see the flight plan is already updated. METMA FI23LY, it will go to this point and then it will land. I can actually not delete these points because of the check gross weight error, but let's see, because it's taking 23 left as a waypoint, so we have to actually delete all these points which have been populated because of the change in the flight plan. As I cannot delete them, that's why they are coming, but otherwise you can delete them till the time you see EDDL, because after board there is a flight plan discontinuity, and then Domex and everything is coming. So as I cannot modify it, that's why I cannot do it. So this is how you perform a missed approach, and then you fly back to the runway. as the LS is activated, so the moment I'll turn right, I can activate again the approach phase and I can land. Let's see if I can do it. Yes, I can activate the approach phase, and so the ILS indicators will start to appear over here. Then I can press approach and I can try to land at this runway. So this was a short video. I just wanted to give you an introduction to the missed approach. There are different airports. They have got different techniques and different methodology to basically perform a missed approach. For different airports, there are actually different methods to perform a missed approach. With this, I would just like to end my video. If you guys have got any question, you can ask me in the comments section. I will be more than happy to give answer to your questions. But if I am late, kindly excuse me for that. And what else? For any feedback, the comment section is there. You want to add something to this this video, the comment section is there for you. Thank you very much for staying with me. Have a nice day. Hope to see you soon.